Hello everyone, it's Anaro, and I'm bringing you some more Halo Reach gameplay. And I know I haven't made a video in a couple days, but I took a little bit of a break from Halo. I do that every now and then just to make sure I don't get burned out on the game, get bored or anything like that. But I'm back, and I'll be making some more videos. This one is going to be quite long. I think it's about 12 and a half minutes. But it's a assault game on Zealot in the MLG playlist. But since I had a longer game, what I wanted to talk about was how to improve as a player, basically. The first thing I did was I had to ask myself, if I'm making a channel to help people get better, how can I make myself better? Because if I don't even have a plan for how to improve, how am I supposed to teach other people how to improve? So when I first started, I gave myself a self-assessment, and you'll see from like my previous gameplays to how I'm playing now in like the month and a half, I've improved quite a bit just by following my own assessment. It doesn't take really long to do. I mean, you can sit down and think about it for like 10-15 minutes, or write it down on paper if you prefer to do it that way. But the assessment that I gave myself was pretty much broken into three parts. First, you need to figure out what type of player you are. Second is your teamwork, and third is your skills. Anything from weapons to moving around the map, your ability to escape, all of that. But the first one, what type of player are you? Are you a slayer? Are you the guy that plays extremely aggressive, goes in there, gets the multi-kills, doubles and triples all the time, going +8, +9 or higher every game, in your kill-death ratio? Are you an objective player? When you play the objective game types, are you the guy that's running in there grabbing the flags, planting the bombs, holding the oddball? Is that you, or are you more like me? I consider myself to be the support player of the group. Every now and then, like this gameplay, you'll see me. This is more of my Slayer mode. I can slay, but I'm more comfortable with the support. And as a support player, my main thing is basically to be on the outside of the maps. I look in, I put shots on everybody I can see on the other team. Even if I can only get in 1 or 2 bullets, I'm putting in those shots. And the reason why is because if I make somebody half shield, they go around the corner, run into my teammate who's not been hit at all, my teammate has a huge advantage over that guy. 2 bullets is quite a bit in a DMR battle, actually. So, if I make the enemy half shields, goes around, runs into my teammate, full shields, my teammate is almost guaranteed to win that battle because of my support. I also do lots of call-outs. I clean up people that are one-shot. I call out one-shots. I help with power weapon control. I remind everybody when power weapons are coming back up. I just do that kind of thing. I'm the support player. I do everything I can to try to help my team win. Basically, after you figure out what type of player you are, is you need to figure out how well you play in a team. How's your teamwork? Are you assisting off of your teammates? Are you using call-outs? Are you playing selfish, or are you actually playing to win? And there's a very big difference. I mean, you can play selfish and still win, but there's a difference between being selfish and hogging all the power weapons, like the guys you see that have the rockets and the sniper rifle and stuff like that, and playing to win, where you spread out the power weapons, you use setups, all that kind of thing. The first thing is your callouts. That's the most important when it comes to teamwork. If you don't know callouts, I mean, you can Google them. They're on the MLG website. I mean, you can even make your own. You can go and Forge, look around the maps, make your own. I mean, that's just the biggest thing that I can say for teamwork is your callouts. I mean, you really need to put in a good callout. Really good callout is the combination of fitting as much information as you possibly can, as clear as you can, in the shortest amount of time. And say, like right here, I'm at Red Landing. If the enemy had a sniper rifle, say if I was on the other team, I would say one guy, Red Landing, with snipe. I would say it a little bit faster than that, a little bit louder, but the general message gets across. There's one guy at Red Landing, and he has a sniper rifle. Now, you do need to speak up a little bit when you make a call out in a game, because you have to remember it is FPS, so there's going to be lots of gunfights, lots of nades, sniper rifles, rockets, everything going off can be really loud. You don't need to yell or scream, but make sure that your call out is heard, because if you make a call out and it's not heard, it's as good as you not making a call out at all. The main excuse that I hear for people with call outs is that nobody has mics. Make call outs, even if your teammates are not using microphones. And I say that because even though they're not able to communicate back to you, you're still helping your team by telling them where the enemy is. If you make a call out, they know what you're talking about, and they know that that guy has a power weapon, they're going to approach that situation different than they would just, you know, randomly running around. They're going to be more prepared, and they're less likely to lose that gunfight. So even if they can't talk back to you, you should try to give out callouts. And I mean, sometimes people really do have microphones, and they just have the same thoughts as you. And if you start making callouts, I've had times where I started doing callouts and people put their mics in. A full team of 3 random guys that had no mics all of a sudden became a full team communicating, just because I started communicating. Always try. I have my moments where I get frustrated that nobody else has a microphone, and I get, you know, kind of mad that we're doing bad, and I'll stop calling out. But you should always try. The other part of teamwork is, are you helping your team? If, you know, your teammate calls out that there's a one-shot around a corner, and you're close to that corner, are you going over there and cleaning up that one shot, or are you just being like, somebody will get it, you know? Always try to clean up all the kills that you can. Another part to it would be like peeling. It's called peeling in some games, or I don't know if there's an actual term for it, but I call it peeling. Is if my teammate is in a DMR battle and I have the slightest notion that he's going to lose, or he's running away from the enemy and they're chasing him, peeling is basically throwing yourself in front of that enemy to make him stop shooting your teammate and start shooting at you. If your teammate's 1 shot and the enemy's 3 shots down, and you jump in front and you take over that battle for your teammate, that guy that only has 2 shots left from dead and you being full shield is going to have a really hard time. I mean, even your 1-shot teammate can help you clean up that kill as long as the enemy is focusing on you. I mean, if you do stuff like that, I do it all the time. I don't know if it's actually in my gameplays at all, but I do that. I do that. If teammate says that there's a guy chasing him and they're 1 shot and I'm close, I will jump in between my teammate and the enemy. It's called peeling. And whenever I say that I have the enemy, generally my teammate's going to turn around and help me finish that fight. That's another part of teamwork. Some people like to call it bait and switch, but that's when you do it on purpose. I consider peeling as just when something random happens that you're not prepared for, and you step in to help your teammate. But some people use it as a tactic called bait and switch, where one guy literally goes out to attract all the attention, and then his teammates come and help him. You know, just things like that. Think about your teamwork. What you need to work on is your call-outs. You know, are you helping your team in any way possible to keep people on your team from dying while killing the others? After that is your techniques. How good are you with the DMR? How good are you with the sniper rifle? How do you move around the map? Are you good at escaping? Most people have a misconception that escaping is cowardly. And in some games that might be the case, but Halo is extremely competitive, and escaping is actually an art or a skill in this game. If, you know, I just don't see why people would write off escaping. I mean, why would you charge into the enemy and give them a kill, especially in a Slayer match or even in objective? You should never rush into them and let them have the kill if you think you're going to die. Escaping is a big time skill in Halo. I don't care what anybody says about it. It's much better to go 8-1 than it is like 8-9. So, you know, if you ever in a situation where you feel you're outgunned or you think you're losing your DMR battle, definitely try to get away. Call that guy out, chuck a nade, whatever you want to do to distract him and get out. You'll notice in my gameplays, you'll see me every now and then, I will make like a pretty epic escape. I'll get away from 1 or 2 guys that are shooting at me or whatever. I mean, never give your enemy an easy kill. Always make them work for it. You're not always going to be able to escape, but in the times that you do, you're helping your team. something that goes hand in hand with escaping is your positioning. You always want to try to put yourself in a position where you have a way out. If you're, say, reflection on the balcony where the sniper spawns, you know, if you get into a gun battle up there and you think you're going to lose, go ahead and jump off that balcony, sprint towards the elevator, drop down, grab that health pack that's down there. You know, that's something to think about, is your positioning. Whenever you're moving to a spot, always think about where you are and where you can possibly escape if things go bad. Like I said, some people call it cowardly. I call it a skill in Halo. I mean, there's been times where I've had matches that we were down by like 12 or 13 kills, sometimes even more. And we came back to win that game because me and all of my teammates escaped and we're not letting them have a kill, and then we turned around and killed them. It is a skill in Halo, legitimately. No matter if people call you a coward or not, it is a legitimate skill. All that matters is if you win. If you lose, then you lost. If you win, it's a win. It doesn't matter how it happens. Weapon skill is the other things that goes with it. You really, really need to focus on your weapon skills. And don't be selfish with weapons. If you know that you don't have a good DMR, find a practice buddy. Download the map Octagon. There's a lot of different ones, but basically the Octagon is a map that's made specifically for one-on-one practice. You spawn with a DMR and a sniper if you have the MLG version, and you can just sit in there, you know, as much as you want with a friend and just practice your DMR, practice your sniper. And another thing is, if you're not comfortable with a weapon, if you're not comfortable with using the sniper rifle or anything like that, let somebody else have it. Don't waste it. The only time that it's a good idea to pick it up and it's a weapon that you're not good with is if you're playing, say, Asylum and you're in the enemy spawn and there's snipers there. Take it and run with it. Do not let the enemy have that sniper. But do not take your sniper if you're not confident in the use. And that's not to say that you can't ever get better with it, but, you know, go in, play team snipers, practice in Octagon. Like I said, just do whatever you can to work on it, but make sure you're not being detrimental to your team whenever you're actually playing, you know, for real in a competitive match, like in the arena or even team objective or anything like that. But these have just been some basic tip, guys. I can go more in depth. I obviously gave myself a much bigger assessment than that, but that's just the general tips that you can do, like that kind of self-assessment. I mean, I'll do another video on it if you'd like. I can go more into depth about all 3 different sections. I just had to kind of sum it up for you. But as always, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Drop me a comment if there's something more you want to see, or a private message or anything. I read all of them. I reply to most of them too. So if there's anything specific you want to see, any game type, anything like that, let me know. Or if you want some one-on-one time. I said in the last one I'm not beyond playing with subscribers. If you want some one-on-one time for practice, you know, I have Octagon and all that stuff too. You can send me a private message. We can set up times for that. But peace.